Allies in France, the shattered remnants of Germany's Army Group West begin their retreat across France and the Low Countries toward the German border at the end of August 1944. Meanwhile, pursuing Allied forces face a major problem supplying their troops, as the approaches to Antwerp remain controlled by the German 15th Army. To maintain pressure on the Germans, Allied command agrees to a daring plan that, if it works, will allow the Allies to outflank the defenses of the Siegfried Line and plunge into the Ruhr River Valley. It is hoped this operation, codenamed Market Garden, will end the war in Europe by the end of 1944. The 1st Allied Airborne Army finds initial success on the first day of Market Garden in capturing some of their assigned bridges, critical to the advance of the British 30th Corps. Allied fighter bombers, with entire air superiority, cover the ground forces as they move north. However, delays in securing objectives and unexpectedly strong German resistance soon results in the Allied airborne forces fighting for their lives. With the British 1st Airborne overwhelmed at Arnhem and 30th Corps unable to advance, Operation Market Garden ends in failure on September 25th. Any hopes of ending the war by the end of 1944 are shattered.
Hello everybody and welcome to the new series on IL-2 Sturmovik, and we are going to be flying for the USAAF after the failed Operation Market Garden. And as you can just see here, we're just flicking through the maps, looking where all the airfields are. Obviously there's the number 421 Squadron, and as you can see, we're in the bulge that was created by Market Garden, and we are based here at Sint-Truiden airfield. And you can see a load of aircraft there, and as you can see I was a little confused, but mainly it's because nearly every single squadron there is transport, and they fly the Dakota, which we won't be doing in this particular mission. We will be flying the P-47 Thunderbolt, and we will be doing a campaign with a new pilot. Paper, it's the Daily Planet, surprise, surprise, a long way home. Germans drive British parachutes off north end of the bridge. Yet this is just after the failed Market Garden operation, and we shall be mainly, I would imagine, flying ground attack missions, as that's the people accepting speciality. But we shall wait and see. So sit back and we'll carry on with the mission the next day begins.
With Operation Market Garden ending in failure, the Allies turned their attention in the Low Countries to opening a supply route to the Belgian port of Antwerp. To accomplish this, German troops of the 15th Army need to be cleared from both banks of the Scheldt estuary and the surrounding area. The Battle of the Scheldt begins on October 2, 1944, with the northward advance of Canadian 2nd Corps and the westward advance of the British 1st Corps. The last of the German forces are cleared from the Scheldt with the fall of Walcheren on November 8th. However, it will be another 3 weeks before the Scheldt is cleared of enemy mines and made safe for ships to dock at Antwerp, ending the Allied supply crisis. At the same time, the U.S. 1st Army begins its assault on the German city of Aachen on October 2nd and secures it 3 weeks later. Despite worsening weather conditions, the air forces of both sides remain very active. Freed from V-1 defense, RAF Hawker Tempest squadrons begin to move to the continent, while the Germans field some of their newest designs, including the Focke-Wulf 190D9 and the Messerschmitt 262. Continuing their advance toward the Ruhr River Valley, the 1st Army becomes bogged down in bloody fighting in the Hürtgen Forest. The advance ends on December 16th with the launching of the German counteroffensive in the Ardennes.
Oh, here we go, off on the autumn offensive, and the 508 force strength has been increased by more planes, and Delmar Hill, that's our pilot, just quickly flick to the paper, and ramparts on the Rhine will be beginning our push into falling into the autumn offensive. Here's our squadron, and there you can see Delmar Hill is our pilot, and we have a couple of new pilots, and we're going to be planning for a mission. Some people got some medals, we've just got our pilot one. The first one is going to be a bombing a railway junction, which we're not involved with, and the second one is an armed reconnaissance where we will be flying our missions from our base. As you can see, there's our armed reconnaissance, which is quite deep into enemy territory. Looks like we're heading towards a small town where we're going to attacks, which will be awesome. The preparations begins, so it's going to be quite a long flight, as you can see. Just checking our options now, just make sure everything's set properly as it should be. We're going to increase the density of frontline activities in medium, and off they go on the bombing mission, the railway junction, which is mission 1, which we of course are not part of, and then we shall be then off onto our planning phase for our mission. So there we go, so we're now lit up in orange, and there's our plan. We've got to fly quite a distance to point 2, then to point 3 to do our attack. There's our targets with opportunity, railway yards, supply dumps, where for air, everything basically. Basically, everything we can see we can attack. Here's our P-47 setup with its ground modification, gyro gun sight mirrors, and additional 50 caliber ammunition. Delmar is a fresh guy flushed into the squadron, and although he is fairly proficient in his flight and his gunnery, he's a little bit rusty, and also his ground attack skills are minimal, because apart from a few drops of bombs in his practice runs, he's never really done any sort of major frontline combat, so this should prove to be interesting. We'll just check our registrations, and we'll just put a picture of our babe in the plane and check to make sure the controls set, and let's get off into the air and away we go. approaching the target, the city with the rail yards to the front. To the west, which you've just seen slightly off, there we go, is the airfield that Delmar, because of his freshness and his inability and lack of practice, has been told to keep the airfield busy while the rest of the squadron attacks the rail yard. So here we go, stepping into the attack. Let's go for it. His lack of experience shows there as all 6 rockets fired, causing no damage whatsoever. Another moment of learning for Delmar. Appears that the attackers caught the airbase completely by surprise, and there was a complete and total lack of any anti-aircraft fire. Experience shows that was a way late bomb release. Hopefully we will get better at this. Delmar's complaining, but I'm now questioning why the airbase isn't opening fire on us. We seem to have free rein. Closer to the target there, unfortunately out of bombs now, so we'll have to try and wait to the next chance to practice our bombing. Since there, Delmar can see the rest of the squadron attacking the rail yard. Delmar is pretty good at strafing parked aircraft. Let's go round and have another crack. Delmar's having an absolute field day here, with yet still no response from the airfield's anti-aircraft defences. He's just having some fun, just shooting everything up. So Delmar exits the area after a successful strafing of the airfield to catch up with the leaving rest of the squadron. No more guns, no more bullets, no more ammunition, no bombs, no rockets, no nothing. He's on his way home. There's the rest of the squadron up ahead, with the gap left for Delmar to refill as we slowly but steadily catch up with the squadron. Looks like everyone's got away scot-free. Number 3 seems to be trailing with some, is it water or maybe fuel? He's definitely got some battle damage, but apart from that everybody else seems to have got away without any damage. Break weight, enemy fighters engaging. Unfortunately, Delmar now has a problem. He didn't save any ammunition in case this happened. He can't help, all he can do is evade, escape, and hopefully survive as the squadron panics and moves out of the way. provides and dives towards the ground, hopefully hiding himself in the ground clutter as the melee of furballing fighters continues behind him. Looks like the squadron is suffering some losses, people are getting wounded. Delmar wishes he could step into attack and help, but unfortunately he cannot. Finally, Delmar spots home base as he begins his approach to land his aircraft. Grateful in one respect for surviving, but also worrying about the rest of his squadron mates. slowly but steadily approaches the airbase. Nice, steady, gentle landing is what he needs. The worst he could possibly do now is completely mess up by crashing his aircraft on the approach. Slowly, slowly down. Past the pilot's P-47, the rest of the squadron. Nice paved runway instead of the grass strip. Gentle, gentle, gentle. Oh, just hopping a little bit and bouncy, bouncy, whoopsie daisy. And he's down. As Delmar switches the engine off, he sits back in the cockpit and reflects on the fact that his first mission he survived, and now just wonders who else has managed to make it back alive. So it appears Delmar had quite a successful mission, destroying 9 parked aircraft at that airfield. Still a bit confusing why the enemy didn't open up, but he's not going to complain. He's going to take those hits, those kills, and his first 9 victories onto the squadron. Let's see how things got on with the squadron. Oh dear, it looks like we've lost 3 pilots and one of them gets a Bronze Star for Valor. Oh dear. That jump by those enemy fighters has taken 3 lives. Delmar feels slightly guilty for running away, but his squadron commander tells him that sometimes it is best just to return an aircraft because losses are unfortunately inevitable. So a successful mission, but one tinged with sadness. As the 506, so we scroll down and there are the 3 lost pilots. Unfortunately, it's a shame, but squadron continues to do what it needs to do, and I'm sure replacements will come and there will be more losses to be faced. But at least Delmar survived his first mission and got some aircraft, 9 on the ground, destroyed. So here we go, setting up for the next day, and hopefully we can survive that one.